Record. And hello, everyone, and welcome to the Team Rhino call. It is September 13th, and that means we're about halfway through September. And just a reminder to everybody to make sure that you're getting your Team Rhino activity challenge tracker form submitted as you're tracking your activity, because there's another $50 for each of the top 3 people with Team Rhino activity points this month. I had some conversations with some people earlier in the month, or earlier in this week, actually, about that. And some people are doing a little bit of tracking in some other programs that they're using, like TeamZ, which is a thing that's built specifically for Beachbody coaches. And if you're having trouble staying organized, then that might be something you should go look at. I'm not necessarily recommending it because I haven't tried it myself, but some people have. And if you're doing something like you're better at tracking on a piece of paper or something like that, you can go in and make one entry in the Team Rhino activity tracker, like at the end of the week, or even one entry at the end of the month if you're keeping track somewhere else. Now, please, this is an honor system, so please don't go in and guess at the end of the month what your numbers were or something like that. But if you are actually tracking in a different thing, like a piece of paper, a notebook, or something like the TeamZ or something like that, then you can go in and put those numbers in later. Okay. Now, of course, you can't cheat on Success Club numbers or volume numbers, because I can see that in the back office. So it doesn't matter what you put in there. I'll see what's actually your Success Club numbers. But yeah, you can go in on the last day and put all your numbers. I had 97 new contacts and 140 follow-ups, and whatever you did, you can put it in at the end of the day. Okay. So with that, what else is going on right now? We're halfway through the health bet, almost, I guess. Not halfway. We're in our second week of 4 for the health bet. So hopefully you guys are getting your stuff in. If you didn't get the post that I put in, at least in the groups that I'm in, and the health bet, you did have to have your 3 and your 5, 3 workouts and 5 Shakeologies in by Sunday night at 11:59 Pacific time. If you didn't do that the first week, you're already out of the health bet. So sorry about that, but you do have to get it in every week. So I'll try to remember to put a reminder for everybody in on Saturday or Sunday to make sure you get them in. And you can go back and backdate, okay? One thing that people need to know about the health bet, it's already the second week, so if they didn't do it the first week, they're out. But people need to understand that you can't put 5 Shakeologies in with the same date and expect that to work. You can put them in on one day, but they all have to have 5 separate dates on them, if that makes sense. Okay, so 2 Shakeologies with the same log date is not 2 Shakeologies towards your 5. It's 1. Okay, so everybody's got to understand they've got to have 5 separate days logged of Shakeology, 5 separate days, 3 separate days logged of workouts. Anyway. Just some things to get with your challengers on, especially because people will get less consistent with it as we go. So they need to know what they have to do to do the health bet. Okay, so tonight, I just want to keep it short with a short topic, and then we're going to just get your input on it, those of you who are live here on the call. But one of the things that I think is super, super, super important when you're having conversations with people, when you're talking to people about Beachbody, is to understand the concept of cost versus value. Cost versus value. Okay, so again, if you're, Shalene Johnson always says what? Smart people take notes. So if you're a smart person, you're taking notes on what we're saying. So we're talking about cost versus value. And to illustrate what cost versus value is about, I bring this up because a lot of people say Shakeology is not expensive. Shakeology is $4 not expensive. Okay, in order for that to be true, the right perspective has to be presented, and the right value has to be presented to someone for $4 a shake to not be expensive. Okay, if I told you I have something for you right now that's $4, but I didn't tell you what it was, would you be able to tell me whether that was expensive or cheap? No, right? I mean, obviously that's kind of the extreme example. If I just said, well, it's only $4, it has to be inexpensive because $4 is always inexpensive. That's just simply not true, because if what I ended up giving you was 1 carat, that would be really expensive for 1 carat, unless it was the most amazing carat in the world, right? So you have to be able to show the person that you're talking to the value of what you're presenting to them in order to be able to say things like it's not expensive. Okay, so think about the idea of telling someone that you have something that's only $1, but you don't tell them what it is, describe it, show them what it does, how it helps them, how it is compared to other things, and you don't give them the perspective of what the thing is that you have that's only $1, then they're not going to actually know whether $1 is expensive or not, right? So someone's putting, I got to read the chat here. Oh, Heidi says, I bought a shampoo and a conditioner today for 42 cents. So if you're offering shampoo for $4, that wouldn't be valuable. Exactly. See, but that's the thing, is that if I said, well, I've got some shampoo that's only $4, maybe to one person who buys shampoo at an expensive salon that they go to, that their hairdresser says, this is the greatest shampoo in the world, and they buy the $18 bottle of shampoo. If you told them that you had the same bottle of shampoo for $4, well, that's not expensive, right? But if you're buying shampoo for 42 cents because, it's on sale, or maybe you don't think that the shampoo that is $18 is any different than the shampoo that you can get for 42 cents, then you think the $18 shampoo is expensive, right? So keep this in mind as you talk to people about Beachbody, that if you just go with price and say it's only $120, but you have not shown them what the value is of the product. You haven't shown them how it solves a problem that they have. You haven't shown them any of the features of it. You haven't shown them anything about the product other than what they may have already seen on an infomercial or something like that. Then you can't go around, saying it's only $120, right? You have to think about the perspective that you're giving that customer as you're talking to them. Okay, so maybe some examples of what I'm talking about. Can anybody think of, like example conversations that they've had where, you're talking about this stuff and it's a value versus cost type of thing? Do we have any examples, thoughts? You can unmute yourself and talk if you want. If not, I'll give some. You got to unmute. Tabby, are you talking? Tabby, hold on.
I got it. Oh, can you hear me?
Go. There we go. Now I can hear you.
Okay, so here's like a prime example that I had the other day. I have been very, I haven't been with y'all for a few months and stuff because I've been having, a lot of issues and stuff with my stomach, but everything is good now, so that's good. Great. So the doctor said I can get back on my Shakeology because everything is kind of going great. Okay. So my son, this is a prime example. The other day, he tells me that, and my son is he's a tall guy and he's very lean. He's not even a $125, really, to tell you the truth. Okay. But he is very conscious of what he eats. And he does like the fact that he wants to have something when he works out that's sort of like the refresh in a post-workout, in a pre-workout and stuff. And I was like, he said that he was going to go. He said that he was going to go to the GNC or wherever and buy some stuff. And I looked at him like, are you crazy? I really did. I was like, what the hell you mean you going to go? Excuse my language, but I said, what you mean you going to go to the GNC and buy some stuff? Okay. Do you know that, have you forgotten? I mean, he does have 2 jobs and he is in school, so his brain is a little bit kind of turkey like that. But I was like, wait a minute, hold on. You can buy this from me, your mama, okay? And so he was like, really? He was like, I just didn't think that y'all had stuff like that. So I basically went on to the Beachbody and say, look, you can get this and you can get that and da 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 for this price, whatever. But if you go to this GNC, you really don't know what you're getting. Okay,
Right.
You don't know what you're getting. So I, as your mama, first of all, okay. As your mama, first of all, I'm telling you that this is what I'm, this is what I'm telling you. Hey, Brooks, okay, cute ass, but see my language again. But I'm like this.
It's so good to have Tabby back, isn't it?
I know y'all know me. Excuse my little language and stuff. I'm not trying to be all like that, but I'm just saying. I was just telling my son, I was like, look. You need to buy stuff from me because guess what? You're in my household. You're eating my all my clean eating food all the time, and you're drinking my Shakeology and stuff. So why are you going to go to GNC? Okay, please with the GNC. Y'all know about that GNC. Okay, the GNC is not right. They got too much stuff in it. You can't even pronounce it. And he's talking, he's very, like I said, y'all, he's lean, he's cut up. He is. But I said, this is what you need for your fiber. If you want to gain, you want to do whatever. This is what you need to be doing here. And also supporting your mommy. Okay.
That's a really, actually, the protein shake is actually a really good example. Drink one for me, bro. Drink one for me. But the protein shake is a really good example of where cost versus value can come into a conversation because you're talking to someone who thinks that Shakeology is the same as a GNC protein, right? They think that those two things are the same. And you haven't shown them the difference yet necessarily when you're talking to them. And then you throw out a $4 a day price and they're like, I can get, 50 cents a shake. I can get this thing over here. And they don't understand the difference. And so, if you watch a commercial, like a really good commercial for a product, the last thing that they bring up is the price. And the reason is because they have to show the value of the product before they bring the price out so that you know whether the price is a good price or a bad price, right? So you've got to do the work up front to show value. So I guess my question, if we don't have any more examples, is what's the number one method of showing value to people in a product? How do you do that? Do 33 pull-ups. That's how you do it, Brooks.
Oh, wow. Brooks can do everything.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
I know. Brooks, you can do everything.
It's not what I was going for, but that's not actually a bad point. Is to be a product of the product does show the value in the products. But if you're talking to someone and you're having a conversation, what's the best way? Did you just say it?
Okay, so I like to talk about I like to ask my customers if they're taking a multivitamin and if they're taking a probiotic. Because if they are, that's about $30 to $40 a month that they're spending right there in a pill.
Yes.
And if they're not, they need to be.
So the part I like to talk about that is not necessarily what you're asking them, but that you're asking them questions. That's what I was really going for with it all, is if you try to show value just by spouting facts and information and features and, read the back of the product label to them, that's not going to be the best way to show them the value. The best way to show them the value is find their pain points and then show them how the product will help those. And you can't know their pain points unless you ask questions, right? So you have to ask them, what are you trying to do? What are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish? What do you already do? What have you tried? What have you tried that worked? What have you tried that didn't work? Right? So they may tell you, right now I'm taking a multivitamin and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I don't take a multivitamin because that's already in my Shakeology. But, so you've just shown them a little value. The Shakeology has multivitamin pretty much in it. And so that's a replacement of a cost that they already have, right? But you can't know that unless you know that they're taking a multivitamin. So you have to ask a question, like, are you taking any multivitamins? What supplements are you already taking? If they want to gain weight, but you're trying to, give them a weight loss supplement, then, you're not going to be able to show the value to someone who wants to gain weight with a weight loss supplement. So you have to ask them a question, find out they want to gain weight, and then you go, oh, well, then you need this over here. So questions are the most important part. And then you can find out which product features and which parts of the label you need to focus on when you are a little bit more in the talking instead of question asking side of things, right? So you ask a question, you get the answer to that question, then you talk a little bit, but you know what part to talk about, right? So if you're talking to someone who doesn't care about multivitamins and you're listing all the vitamins in there, you're not raising the value of the product, right? The product value is not going up, and therefore it's not. So what you want is, here's price, here's product value. If product value looks this way to them compared to price, then they're not going to buy it. If product value looks this way to them compared to price, then they're going to buy it, or they're probably going to buy it, right? Value is up above where price is, right? And if you're like right here and you're talking about something they don't care about and it doesn't solve any of their problems, this is not going up, right? So you got to think about those things when you're having conversations with people is, how do I find out what parts of this are going to help them, and then focus on those so that in their mind the product value goes up and it goes above price. And then when I say $4 a day, they go, totally worth it. Sign me up. Where do I, send me the link, Okay. So does that
Can I say something?
No.
Oh!
Go ahead.
I had to. With you saying that, when I got sick, the doctor was saying, okay, stop what you're doing at this point, because I was literally, I'm vomiting every day. I'm sick. I'm fainting. I'm passing out at work. I mean, literally, this is what's going on. And, because they said, stop drinking the Shakeology, stop doing this because it's messing with your system, okay? So, and then they put me on the, like you were saying, the probiotic and all these different type of multivitamins and this and that, and I got worse. Literally, I got worse. Yeah, I did. I got worse, and I literally, I had to, because I was taking off of work. This is why that I hadn't, talked to y'all for months and this and this. I literally had to get on FMLA because I was taking off so much because I was so sick that they were like, okay, something is going on. You have to have a medical doctor, this and that, which I did. I've always had GERD. I've always had that. And I don't know, what happened, this and that, whatever. I don't know. But it seems like as soon as they say, get on this, probiotics, get on this, multivitamin, this and that, da-da-da-da. Sick as a dog, okay? I could barely, yes, literally, I could barely walk. They put me on all this medication. I was cramping up. It was awful. It was awful. And you know what I did? I said, the heck with that. I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I don't care what y'all say or whatever. Before, I was fine. I was fine. And then y'all tell me to do this. Y'all with PhDs, y'all tell me to do this and to do that. And I mean, literally going to the hospital. They're hooking me up to heart monitors. They're seeing if I'm having a heart attack. They're seeing if I'm doing this. They're seeing if I'm doing that. I'm having, they're saying, oh, you have all kinds of parasites. Are you kidding me? Y'all trying to get my money. Okay, y'all trying to get my money. So you know
but
what
you're
I
better
mean?
now.
You're
better now and you're drinking Shakeology again.
Yes, I stopped. And I said, because I told my mom, and my mom was like, stop taking all of that stuff. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. You're too young. There's nothing wrong with you like that. They're trying, these pharmaceutical companies are trying to get your money. That's what they're doing with the government. Okay. Mm-hmm. So she was like, no. My mom has lost so much weight. Y'all remember my mom? Mm-hmm. My mom has lost so much weight. She's off of her diabetic medication. She's off of everything because she has been drinking Shakeology since she started this. Mm-hmm. And nothing. She's 67. She's in better shape than I am. Okay, better shape than I am. She told me
she's in better shape than Brooks is. Jeez, look at Brooks.
No. Or Brooks is Brooks is good. Brooks is good. But you know you're my boo, Ryan. Stop. Okay.
Never give up.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I have lost the weight. You know, I have lost weight. But yes, it's just like Brooks does look good. He really, really does. It's like I think he's an alien, though. I don't even think he needs to be on this call. You know what I mean?
Brooks, do you have anything to say about cost versus value?
I know you do, Brooks.
I don't. She said it all. She said it all.
Did say it all. Does anybody else have anything else? We're coming up on a half hour here. I like to keep them kind of short, but that was the thing that I really wanted to talk about. Was it's just something to keep in your mind when you're talking to people, because when you talk to people and you get the no or you get the too expensive, every time I get the it's too expensive, my first thought is I didn't do a good enough job of showing the value. Now, that's not necessarily always true, because someone may see the value and say, I just literally do not have the money. Like, I literally don't have money to hardly even pay my bills. And so they could say it's too expensive in that sense. I tend to think 9 times out of 10, if they're saying it's too expensive, it's because I haven't shown them that it solves a problem that's important enough to make the value go above the cost in their mind. That all makes sense?
I have another thing to add, if you don't mind.
Sure.
If they truly can't afford it because they can't afford to pay their bills, then they need to become a coach.
Right.
Like yesterday.
So that they can make some money. Right.
Right.
Yes.
What else we got? I think we actually lost Tabby.
We have a solution for that too.
Or at least video anyway. Other thoughts? Mr. Coggin, you got anything for us? Or you're driving? Eyes on the road, buddy. Anything, Brooks?
No, Mr. Coggin has to go back and do his pull-ups tonight. I know he does.
Yeah, he does. I think we might have Mr. Coggin on. Mr. Coggin is going to be our guest speaker next week. And he's going to talk about the last couple months of hitting, having about 18 Success Club points, I think, in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
And I think he's been using a program called Teamzy, which he might talk a little bit about if he thinks that it's something he wants to talk about and that it's good. I don't know a ton about it, but he's just going to give us an idea of what he's doing that's working for him. So we'll talk to him next time when he's not driving, hopefully. Tamara, anything from you? You good? All right. Sarah? Good? Sarah?
I want to go over and check Sarah's head for a fever. She looks
she's lost it. I got up at 5 a.m.
Let's see. Danielle's on here too. If you have anything, Danielle, you can unmute yourself. We're going to call it a night here, though, if nobody else has anything.
No, I'm good. trying to get
Okay.
the kids down for bed.
All right. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.